Hey YouTube, it's Trev again, and I'm bringing you a battle against Mike Johnson, and it's actually going to be a three-peat. We played a series of 3 games, and I actually go in and before the game I was like, hey, what do you want to play? And he says, well, what do you play? And I said, OU. So this very first game is OU. Let's get right into it. I'm going to put it on normal speed. Anyway, so I lead off my Hippowdon. I'm just going to get up that sand and maybe some Stealth Rocks. He leaves with Gastrodon, which is a good lead for him, knowing that I have a Hippowdon. And knowing he's probably going to go for a water move, and I can wall pretty much anything else he throws at me, I go into my own Gastrodon. I get that special boost. And predicting the Breloom switch, I go straight for an Ice Beam, which I love that set on Sluggy. Gastrodon is really one of the most underused Pokemon in the OU game. I mean, he should be used a lot more because he has great typing, on top of great abilities, and as you can see here, he's a wall. Anyways, he's just trying to get off some damage on the Gastrodon, so I'm gonna keep going with the Ice Beam, and I get a critical hit there. Obviously, that did matter. I was only doing about 40.5% was on that one turn. He goes into Garchomp, and I'm thinking, all right, well, he can probably take me out. I'm probably in range, so I switch out into something that can take that hit, which is my Hippowdon. And then I see the Gastrodon, and I double switch right back into my own Gastrodon because I know he's going to go for that water move. And we're right back where we started, folks. He goes for a Sludge Bomb here, probably trying to get me to poisoned. And I'm just like, all right, well, I'll Ice Beam whoever comes in. I get that special attack boost. And he had stayed in. I was expecting another switch out. So at this point, I go for the Toxic. And he does get the Toxic poisoning here. I go for the Toxic. I miss again. How many times have you seen it, guys? How many times have you seen me miss a Toxic? It's 95% chance hit, and I get it, the miss every time. Not every time. But a good chunk. Anyways, he goes for Earthquake, which is, I don't feel like that's a great move for Gastrodon to learn. I know there's stab bonus, but he's honestly not a great physical attacker. As you can see, he really didn't do a whole lot on me. And I'm like, all right, well, I can go into my Skarmory, because now I know his full move set. Two of his moves can't even hit me. So his best move is probably Scald, and he does here, and he gets about 40% damage. After leftovers is only 33, and I'm like, all right, well, let's get another layer of spikes up before I have to switch out, whatever. And seeing the damage on that last one, I'm like, all right, well, you know what? I'm probably better off just boosting up, which is what I do, because I can get some residual toxic damage off on him. Only problem being is if he burns me, and so you can see there he lost 31%. I think at this point he's probably just going to stay in, probably get one more move off me. He goes for the Scald, 30% chance, and there it is, the burn, folks. You hit him with enough burns, it's bound to happen eventually, right? Well, anyways, that's another Pokemon down for him, so Gastrodon's gone. And he goes into his Jolteon, and I'm like, all right, well, obviously, here comes the electric move, and I go into Gastrodon because not only is he completely immune to it, but, if he predicted a switch out, I can fodder out Gastrodon at this point. Gastrodon is not really going to be a game player in this game anymore. I don't know really why I Toxic there. I just feel like I probably thought I wasn't going to live that hit. So there goes down my Gastrodon. I got him poisoned, but it really doesn't matter because I saw that he has leftovers on him, so I'm like, all right, I'll go straight into my Stoutland and return. that's more than in range, with that stab bonus, choice banded. And he goes into Garchomp. I'm thinking, all right, well, if this is Scarfed Garchomp, then I'm in trouble. But as you can see here, he switches out, and so he did a double switch. I wasn't sure why, because I don't even think he was in range with a Stoutland return. Maybe, but I definitely wasn't Scarfed. He probably thought I was a Scarfed. Anyways, he goes for a Flamethrower. He takes out my my Skarmory, and that's one thing about Infernape is he has such flexibility with the move pool he can learn on top. And I see the leftovers there. I'm like, all right, well, there he goes, because there's no way. But then he goes in the Garchomp, and I'm still thinking Scarf. I'm trying to just play it safe. So I go into my Hippowdon, and he Earthquakes, and there's leftovers. I just feel like leftovers Garchomp is not that great. I go for my own Earthquake, and he is within more than within range, and I even got Slack off on this guy. So this is pretty much GG at this point. I'm not gonna fart around. Obviously I could mess with him and get even more of an easy win, but I was just trying to end it at this point. But anyways, so this isn't really his game type. So I was like, all right, what else do you want to play? He goes, all right, let's play some RU. This is what he plays. So I lead off with my Hariyama, expecting him to lead off with a Smeargle. I see a Smeargle, that's immediate thought. Anyways, he goes into his Electivire, and he can take that residual damage, plus he pretty well He pretty well walls it, and then he has flamethrower. His flamethrower on his Electivire. I'm just not like, what can he do? Anyways, but I go for a double switch. I get that special attack boost because now, you know, maybe he's within range and he's still not. And he has Earthquake as well, so he has a, you know, covers nearly every typing. I go into my Sceptile. It's Scarfed. I know I can finish this thing off real quickly. He goes into Smeargle, and I'm thinking, all right, here comes a Spore. And I go into my Hariyama because he's a Rest Talker, and he actually Dragon Dances. He goes straight for the Baton Pass, and I go for the Force Palm, and I get the Paralyze, which is awesome. I love Force Palm, 30% chance of Paralyze. Anyways, he goes for Ice Punch, which was horrible because I put in Drift Blim, and this Drift Blim is all about the Baton Pass, and boom, Paralyze. That's huge because now I can switch out, get Absol, that defense and special defense boost, so I can get up one Swords Dance, and he's paralyzed again. And that's just unfortunate for him. And I don't want to. I was just fearing, you know, some sort of other attack. I go for the Sucker Punch here, and so he's gonna Swords Dance. So I'm like, all right, now he attacks. No, Swords Dance again. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll take a risk. I'll go ahead and Swords Dance. He Swords Dance a fourth time, which is pretty much, you know, useless. And he Baton Passes. I mean, I see it. I just don't understand it. He goes into Typhlosion, and he was upset about that. Like 3 times attack Absol with stab bonus, he's down. Anyway, so now Absol's just cleaning up his team. Yeah, I knew Smeargle wasn't going to actually do any physical attacking moves, so I was like, all right. And he doesn't have a sash on that thing, so that also surprised me. And so Absol pretty much finishes off this game. So that's 2-0. And I'm like, all right, well, what else do you play? Like, I'm trying to help this guy out. He's trying to help me out. And so let's go and do an NU match. So he leads off with his Electros, and Shuckle can wall everything, alright? So I just, like, those rocks are going to be huge. You know, you got an Articuno and a Jump Pluff, and he goes for a Flamethrower. I'll just get that Encore going, because I know he can't do nearly enough damage. I Toxic him, and at this point I'm like, well, now I got a free switch into Caricasta, because Caricasta can wall this thing like a mofo if he's just going for a Flamethrower and get some residual damage. And also it gives me a chance for a Shell Smash, which is what this Caricasta is all about. You know, get that Shell Smash going, and just give me a chance to sweep through his team. And at this point, well, his Encore ends, so I know the electric move's coming, and I missed the Stone Edge, and he didn't even go for the electric move. He went for the Giga Drain, which is probably the right move there. I mean, I'm assuming he had some sort of electric move on it. Yeah, see, there's a Thunderbolt. He actually has Electric Gem on that, so I feel like this Electros is actually... And look, he got the Paralyze there. What was that? And anyway, so now I knew Jump Pluff could live one hit, and look, he gets a second the hacks, people, the hacks. They absolutely destroy me in this game. I paralyzed right there. Like, what is this? Like, come on. Like, he paralyzes me on top of, it's just the overkill right there. Anyways, I go into my Kadabra, and because I know he can pretty much outspeed anything on his team, he goes to Maina after losing his Floatzel, and I go for a Shadow Ball. I did not think he was going to stay in, because, like, I think everyone knows that Kadabra, and I don't know. Either it was a misclick, I don't really remember, but I go for the Signal Beam, finish him off real quick, and he goes into his Camerupt, and I'm like, alright, well, let's just get off as much damage as possible. I get a crit, that's awesome. He misses a Stone Edge, maybe the hacks are a little bit more evened up here, but, you know, honestly, that was pretty ridiculous. You know, double Paralyze, and losing it, I mean, it was big. Anyways, he goes into Jump Pluff, and Jump Pluff does outspeed, so then I go into Zebstrika. He's Toxic, which is... I'm like, what? Okay. I get the crit, which maybe did matter. I mean, it's a Life Orb Zebstrika with stab bonus. I don't know. He goes Articuno, and this is the last Pokemon he's got. I'm going to outspeed Thunderbolt, GG. Anyway, so I'm going to give this guy a shout out. You know, we played a series of 3. I was trying to be accommodating to him. I don't know. I think he rage quit after this. But regardless, I will put his link in the description, and you should check him out. He's a good battler. And, you know, I was trying to be flexible. I like playing, you know, all the ladders, and I think I'm going to actually expand a little bit, go into Ubers and Little Cup. I haven't played much of either. Actually, I don't think I've played either. But, you know, just expand my knowledge on Pokemon and continue. I mean, it's just interesting. It's different. I might even do monotyping. We'll see. But if you guys like this video, go ahead and give it that like. Sub up if you aren't already, and if you want to see more. But I'll see you guys later. Bye.